Just sharing a last sketchbook flip through of my sketches from Vietnam and Cambodia. We started in Cambodia, and this was a visit to the silkworm weavers and to the silkworm farm. You can see I had a big splash of ink down my page by accident. One of my pens exploded. And we started in Phnom Penh. So some little sketches around there. Some are a little bit unfinished, and I'll decide whether I come back and finish those or leave them as is. This was the day out at the killing fields at Phnom Penh. And then we had a lovely lunch at a restaurant called Farm to Table. And then on to the Genocide Museum. And I really struggled with what to draw on this page, so I had left it until later in the trip, and I came back and we'd had a theme of doors through doors through doors, you know, looking through these vistas at several different places we went to. So that was what I drew there. And I also took a little sprocket pocket printer, so I was able to add some little photos to my sketchbook, which was a great thing to have on hand for this trip. This was a floating village on our way to Siem Reap that our driver suggested. It's actually not a floating village, it's a village on stilts where the water in the wet season comes right up to the level of the houses and stays there for about 2 months of the year. So they're cut off and no access other than by boat. And we did a little sunset cruise out onto the lake. When we visited Angkor Wat at Siem Reap, we took a little sketchbook with us rather than our full packs. Some were upside down because I couldn't tell with my sketchbook which way was up. And so we just did some of these sketches as we were walking around and saw things of interest. And then the following day we went out to Ta Prohm, which was another one of the temples of Angkor Wat, and we sketched there on site and did some paintings on loose paper. And then on to Ho Chi Minh City. Always quite fascinated with the people and the street vendors. From there we went to An Bang Beach, which was near HoiAn, and I didn't paint much there. I painted more on my block than in my sketchbook. I didn't do many sketches. And then into HoiAn City for a night and 1 or 2 days during the day. From HoiAn we went up to Hanoi, and these were done on site, and then these I've added since coming home. I had left the page because I knew there was more that I wanted to do from our hop-on, hop-off bus trip. We went to the Museum of Literature, so I've included the map there to remind myself of that day. There was a graduation happening as we arrived, so the lovely ladies in their traditional dresses caught my imagination. And then we did a overnight cruise at Halong Bay, so some of these sketches are from the cruise, the floating fishing village here, the different boats that we saw, and the moonlight lying on the deck. And then since coming back, I've been really fascinated with my photos of some of the street vendors and the sellers. So I've been adding a few pages of the different people. And so I think I'll finish off with a little map of where we went on the trip, maybe to finish the sketchbook. And then I shall see it as done.